A day after Ramchandra Paudel was elected the third president of the Republic of Nepal, the Election Commission has set the criteria for the candidacy for the vice president. The Apex Election Authority's directive has landed into controversy as the alliance was all geared up to file the candidacy for JSP leader Ram Sahai Yadav. The directive has now given way to nominations of numerous candidates from within the alliance. Good evening, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. EC's snub to male candidacy nomination for the vice president lands into controversy. The alliance calls the directive anti-constitutional. Experts say candidates from different community will suffice. Construction works of the 4-lane bridge and approachway in the eastern section of the Mahakali River under the National Pride project reaches the final phase. Business and credit ruins industries. Cement industries yet to collect 30 billion rupees from the market. Financial cycle badly dented. And the 3-star club secures first win at the Martyrs Memorial A Division League. Church Boys lead table with 3 back-to-back victories. The nomination for the vice president is being carried out tomorrow. However, a day before the filing of the nominations, the Election Commission has directed the officials not to entertain the nominations of male candidates, keeping in mind inclusivity. The Commission directive has repelled the political parties as they have called the Apex Election Commission decision as anti-constitutional. At the meeting of the officials of the Election Commission today, the Apex Election Authority directed its election officers to register candidacy based on the requirement of the vice president belonging to a different sex or community, as a male from the Khas Arya community was already elected the president. Even as the directive of the Election Commission is being interpreted in different ways by the political parties, Chief Election Commissioner Dinesh Thapalia categorically stated that a male candidate's nominations would not be registered tomorrow. The correspondence by the Commission has also confused the election office, which asks some clarifications. However, the Commission only recommended to take decision as per the intent of the latter. Political parties have intensified internal discussions for the vice presidential candidates. The ruling coalition is yet to reach a decision on its candidate for the vice president. Janta Samajwadi Party and Janmat Party, both members of the alliance, have expressed their claim. While Janta Samajwadi has decided to put forward Ram Sahai Yadav as the candidate, Janmat Party has made preparations to field Mamata Jha. Meanwhile, Nagrik Unmukti Party has decided to put forward party chairperson Ranjita Shrestha as the candidate for the vice president. Second largest party of the House of Representatives, CPN-UML, has yet to decide its candidate for the vice president. UML has called a meeting of its officials for tomorrow morning. Registration of candidacies for the election of the vice president slated for March 17 is scheduled for tomorrow. And in our public voice segment, we have asked in several provinces regarding their opinion on implementation of inclusive ideologies provisioned by the Constitution. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
यो हामीले सोचे जस्तो हामीले उ गरे जस्तो चाहिँ यो भएको छैन
पहुँच भएको मान्छेहरु तिनीहरु मात्रै अगाडि बढेको देखिएको छ
जुन पिछडिएको छ उसलाई चाहिँ सधैं पिछडाएकै छ
गरिब निमुखा वर्ग जसको पहुँच छैन उनीहरुले त्यो व्यवस्थामा सहभागी हुन नसकेको अवस्था देखिन्छ
पूर्ण रूपमा चाहिँ आदिवासी जनजातिहरुको हक अधिकार चाहिँ कार्यान्वयनमा भएको देखिएको छैन
सम्पूर्ण रूपमा चाहिँ हुन सकेको छैन जनजाति हिसाबले छुटाए पनि त्यसमा चाहिँ कारण हुन नसकेको त राज्यको कमजोरी हो
जो पाउनु पर्ने हो त्यो क्षेत्रले चाहिँ पाएको म चाहिँ देख्दैन
सबैले अवसर पाउनु भएको छ पहिला शासन गर्न नपाउनेहरुले पनि आज भोलि शासन गर्नु पर्यो तर अलि यसलाई बढाउनु पर्छ
कानुनमा मात्र लेखिएको देखिन्छ तर पनि यसले चाहिँ कार्यान्वयन भएको चाहिँ अहिले मैले मान्दैन
The Supreme Court has issued a so-cause notice to the wreaths filed against CPN Mao Center chairperson and Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The single bench of Supreme Court Justice Ishwar Khatiwada has issued a so-cause notice in the name of Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal or through a representative within 15 days. The hearing was pushed for today because of inadequate time yesterday. Advocates Dinesh Tripathi and Gyanendra Rai Aran pleaded on behalf of the writ applicants. The writ was filed against Prime Minister Dahal, Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers, Ministry of Home Affairs, Defence and Law for Dahal's statement related to the deaths during the armed insurgency period. The writ demands arrest of Dahal and investigation into the case. 8 applicants, including Kalyan Budatoki and 18 others along with Gyanendra Raj Aran, had filed 2 separate writs at the Supreme Court. Nepali Congress leaders have appeared enthused as their party is to regain power which was previously lost because of their own power lost. Many leaders have also begun efforts to become ministers. While the party is in a rush to return to power, it does not seem as interested in strengthening its organization, structure and keeping in line with the party statute. The largest party of the House of Representatives is yet to conclude talks within 6 months of the General Convention as provisioned by its statute, while its sister organizations are currently limited to formalities. Article 60 of the Statute of Nepali Congress has provision for formation of departments and committees in all levels within 6 months of the conclusion of General Convention. However, despite the lapse of 15 months since the completion of the 14th General Convention, Nepali Congress is yet to form its departments and committees. Nepali Congress currently has 48 departments, 16 sister entities and 28 supporting organizations. Most of the sister entities, including Nepal Students' Union, Tarun Dal and Women's Association, are currently inactive. Entities, including the party's Central Committee, are also yet to gain a full shape. With the party president yet to make an appointment, the designation of treasurer is also vacant. Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba has appointed officials and members on the basis of requirement, while the role of other officials has appeared very minimal. Despite claiming itself the most democratic party of the country, internal democracy is in a sorry state in Nepali Congress. Construction works of the 4-lane bridge and approachway in the eastern section of the Mahakali River under the National Pride project has reached the final phase. Completion of the bridge and the road will link Dodhara Chandani of Kanchanpur with the east-west highway. The concrete bridge is being built considering the proposed integrated checkpost at Dodhara Chandni bordering with India and the Mahakali corridor from Kanchanpur to Darchula connecting with China. The bridge measures 800 meters in length and 23.8 meters in width. Construction works of the bridge had begun more than 5 years ago and will have a 7.8 kilometers approachway at both ends. The bridge was scheduled to complete 3 years ago. However, delays have increased the construction cost to more than 3.23 billion rupees. If the remaining works are completed on time, the construction works of the bridge will conclude by the 20th of March 2024. The project also involves construction of embankments and ice-shaped pond and an island to promote tourism in the area. Completion of the bridge is expected to ease connectivity between Nepal, China and India and open possibilities for prosperity of Western Nepal. Declining demand and increasing interest rates have added challenges for industries and businesses. While production has decreased, businesses and industries are struggling in collecting previous credit. Experts have explained the failure in generating revenue from past credits from construction materials to daily consumable goods as a consequence of inflation. Deceased Prem Prasad Acharya, who had self-immolated himself at Baneshwar of Kathmandu on the 24th of January because of problems caused by credit, had demanded an end to such transactions. Many business persons like Acharya are now facing financial problems caused by credit sales. Businesses and industries are struggling to generate revenue from past credit sales. Credit yet to be generated by cement industries exceeds 30 billion rupees, while the figure for shoe industry stands at 15 billion and brooms at 300 million rupees. Other business sectors are also facing similar problems. The economic crunch has reduced the market demand by 1/3. In such a scenario, failure to collect credit has added further plight for businesses and industries. Several umbrella organizations of industries and businesses have appealed with the government to help in collecting past credits. However, the government is yet to come up with a concrete plan for the same. Experts have termed this situation a consequence of inflation and lack of liquidity in the market. And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And yesterday we had asked you what should be done to facilitate treatment for kidney patients. 38% voted for option A, expand services in all provinces. 27% voted for option B, boost infrastructure and human resource. And 35% voted for option C, manage regular checkup. And here is our today's question. And the question is, what's your take on doctors from the government hospitals also working at private hospitals? Your options are A, a wrong practice, option B, lack of monitoring, and option C, utilizing capability. The voting is on. Type in AWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now time for sports update.
Sports news.
Three-star club have secured the first win at the Martyrs Memorial A Division League football. Three-star secured a 2-0 win over Kumultar Youth Club in the game week 3 of the domestic top flight. First half of the match played at the Anfa complex in Saddobato had ended goalless. Ajay Martins broke the deadlock in the 54th minute to put Three Stars ahead, while he scored his second goal of the match 7 minutes from regulation 90 minutes to seal the 2-0 victory. Martins has now scored 3 goals in 3 matches at the ongoing season of the A Division League. Kumultar had secured a 1-0 win over Friends Club in their first match of the season, but had then suffered a 3-1 defeat against Church Boys in the game week 2. Meanwhile, Three Star have been improving their performances and results. Coached by Meghraj Casey, Three Star had lost their first match, were held to a draw in the second and have now secured a win in the game week 3. With today's win, Three Star have climbed to the 7th position of the standings with 4 points, while Kumultar have dropped to 9th. In another A Division League match played today, Church Boys secured a 1-0 win over Himalayan Sherpa. Ashish Chowdhury scored the solitary goal of the match in the 20th minute. With 3 wins from 3 matches, Church Boys find themselves atop the league standings. Papua New Guinea have secured a 56-run win over United Arab Emirates at the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. In the match played at the Tribhuvan University Cricket Ground in Kantipur, PNG were put into bat first as they posted 246 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in the stipulated 50 overs. Sesebao top scored for PNG with 81 runs. Hiri Hiri added 77 and Kipling Doriga contributed 55 runs. Ayan Afzal Khan was the pick of the UAE bowlers with 3 wickets. Junaid Siddiqui and Jawhar Khan had 2 wickets each, while Rohan Mustafa and Karthik Mayappan shared a wicket each. Chasing a target of 247 runs for a win, the UAE were bowled out for 190 runs in 42.2 overs. Aryan Lakra top scored for the UAE with 51 runs, while skipper Mohammad Wasim made 41. Despite having starts, none of the other batters contributed meaningful innings. Riley Hekure picked 3 wickets for PNG. Kabua Moria and Asadwala had 2 wickets each, while Semo Kemia and Norman Bhanua shared a wicket each. The UAE next play hosts Nepal on Sunday. Nepal are placed 5th in the standings with 34 points from 33 matches, while the UAE are a place and 3 points behind. Departmental rivals Tribhuvan Army and Nepal Police are to face off in the grand finale of the National Horizon basketball tournament. I beg your pardon. In the second semi-final played today, Army saw off defending champions Times College 86-83 to move to the tournament decider. In the intense and competitive match played at the basketball court in Dharan 17, Army avenged their defeat against Times in the final of the previous edition of the tournament. Nishal Maharjan, who scored 26 points to secure a win for Army, was adjudged the player of the match. The tournament final between Army and Police will be played tomorrow. Winners of the tournament will receive 111,000 rupees, while the runners-up will take home 55,000 rupees. And up next is weather update. And those were our latest headlines. Up next is News in Nepali. Good night.